guys, BK Rolls 9 here, giving you another podcast of the Flaming Snake podcast, joined with special guest, the Season 4 champion of the IPDL, Tez.
Hi.
Okay, so today we will be bringing you a recap of Week 2, a preview of Week 3, and how the divisions are looking so far. With that being said, anything you would like to say, Tez?
No, let's just roll on with the video, actually.
Alright.
I don't have much to say.
Alright, so let's begin with Saiga versus Pred. So, of course, a Season 3 championship rematch. And this was actually really probably the game of the week, to be honest. So, of course, we see the Starmie, we see the Scyther, Arrow, Kyurem, Nido, and Ninetales from Saiga. But real quick, we see a huge play here where the Starmie actually decides to recover instead of killing the Quagsire. But a really kind of, I think, misprep from Pred is not bringing Water Absorb on the Quagsire. So throughout this match, we would actually see a Draco from the Kyurem actually killing the Olomomola. Glade started to really rack up pressure with grabbing two really good kills. I believe it was on the Nido and then on the Kyurem.
The Ninetales.
Oh yeah, on the Ninetales. My bad. And then bringing Scarf Archeops was actually pretty good, as it allowed Mega Arrow not to really do anything in this matchup.
It was still delayed, and then that's about it. Sorry.
Yeah, true. I believe he also got a kill on the Kyurem, which kind of helped ease in the. I keep saying pressure, but that's really all it is for the Archeops. And then it could have honestly gotten 3, but Starmie killed itself to Life Orb damage. And then in the end, we see Pred actually screw his victory by he switched into the Scizor I think too early. Because at the time the Scizor was actually frozen, and in the end it turned out to really bite him, as the Scyther was allowed to get up a Swords Dance, and I think he got behind a substitute as well.
That's right.
At the same time, the ability of Archeops just really didn't help, as it gets lowered to 50%, Defeatus activates, and it is not able to kill the Scyther, in which the battle ends up being 1-0 to Saiga. And Tez, thoughts?
I think Saiga got incredibly lucky in this battle. Like, what the fuck, man? He lived on. I'm pretty sure, I feel like it was a roll on the Archeops U-turn, and then he lived on 1 and Ice Beam on his last turn of Life Orb, so... I mean...
yeah, I do think it was a roll. He, because I can actually see this replay right now. He, I think, lived on 3%. No, he lived on 1%. But no... Saiga definitely showing why Scyther, for some reason, is a round 1 draft pick.
That's right. I mean, I wouldn't be disappointed in him if he didn't make a kill leader this season.
Oh yeah, that would be hilarious. Alright, so, next up we have Cynthia versus Afonso. Another good matchup. I think there was a little more one-sided, in my opinion.
Okay, I can agree with that.
Yeah.
I can talk a little bit about the thoughts behind the prep or something like that.
Oh, yeah, that would be amazing.
Okay, so essentially, Cynthia didn't want to Mega Evolve Metric that soon because it was basically a semi-check to Tapu Koko, which could Volt Switch, and then she could bring it in and get 1.5 special attack on an electric move. But essentially, Afonso saw this, and he brought in his Gardevoir with Trace that also took advantage of Manectric staying in regular form and then full switching around. So essentially, Alfonso was able to use this strategy that we actually originally planned to use against this Tapu Koko, which was a good play. And Gardevoir we prepped very little for, so it was actually a very few mons in her team that actually outsped it, and so Alfonso was able to pressure Cynthia really well with his Scarf Gardevoir, and that's essentially what broke down most of her team.
I see. I know that Gardevoir was a really good bring. I think Okaberry Klefki was actually really good. If the Mega Main probably Mega'd, the Klefki would have been gone much earlier than it needed to be. Personally, I do think waiting till like turn 9 was a little much, but now knowing the idea of like why and all that, good plan. There was another thing. Oh yeah, shout out to Afonso for the Gardevoir nickname, cause yes.
Okay.
Defog on Phoenix was really cool. However, Misty Seed Drifblim did not really just do much.
That's right. We originally had Destiny Bond, but because we were worried about Klefki, Cynthia switched it to Magic Coat, and now we see that Destiny Bond probably could have been more useful because Afonso did not expect it that much.
Oh yeah. For some reason I'm thinking like Magic Coat with the Destiny Bond, it just bounces back the Destiny Bond. For some reason.
Yeah, that's not how it works. Whatever.
I'm not sure. But no, I don't think there was really many counters for things like Gardevoir and Coco. But then again, you did just say that you guys really didn't prep for Gardevoir that much, so.
That's right. We prepped mostly for Lucha, which he didn't bring.
Yeah, I was kind of shocked about that too, to be honest. But you guys had Drifblim right there, so.
That's right.
Yeah, but a really good match overall. I think we are really seeing what Cynthia can do in a battle situation.
I think she has a lot of potential because she's like currently she's practicing a lot of OU, and once she gets a bit more familiar with the draft format, she definitely knows how to play.
Oh yeah, definitely. So next up we have Nick versus Celebi, a huge matchup. Where let's just say that this match was super weird, and let's just get on to this. So first up, just turn to Mega Aggron with Rain Dance. I will never understand why someone would bring Rain Dance on a Mega Aggron. But then turn 10, he brought a Rain Dance on the Druddigon. And I'm starting to think that this is just all for Manaphy. Seeing how Manaphy does weaken his team a lot. And then Zerk obviously went with a Z Hypno for this team, probably to sleep the Lando, but at the same time you would have to like already be at +1 to outspeed that thing. So not sure what it was supposed to be used for, but hopefully it worked out. He then and I think this was one of the bigger chokes of the match. He basically went for Thunder, and
he only brought Thunder and Dazzling Gleam, I think.
I think so. I know it was Tail Glow, Hypnosis, Thunder, and then Dazzling Gleam. But I don't really see the reason to bring Thunder over Thunderbolt. Sure, you have Rain.
Yeah.
You have 2 Mons that can set up Rain. But
he gets to +3 with whatever. Nothing's eating a Thunderbolt.
Nothing is eating a Thunderbolt, especially with Lando gone. I think it was turn 13. But no, because Gengar doesn't live a Thunder. Understood. But Gengar does not live a +3 Thunderbolt. And Araquanid does not live a +3 Thunderbolt. Komoa doesn't. Salazzle doesn't. Like, Celebi, buddy. I know I've had that moment where I didn't bring Flamethrower on Goodra and I cost myself the game. But this is taking it to like a whole nother level. Other than that, it was just great
battle. Celebi is all about the heat, so that's pretty cool.
He's trying to become the new Bryn. But it was great prep on Nick. I didn't understand why you switched out Salazzle when Tokus came in. Unless you were Scarfed, which is probably the biggest reason why you actually outsped the Xurkitree. So other than that, that leads Nick to a 2-0 victory against Celebi in what could be one of the better seasons he's had in the first 2 weeks. So next up, we have Leafy.
I also think.
Oh, sorry.
One more thing. I also think Nick could have just clicked regular Fly on the Celebi because Celebi essentially had no switch-ins to a regular Fly as well, and to either sack that, and he could have preserved his Z move for the Manaphy save later, because I think the Z move would have killed the Manaphy.
Yeah, that is true. So next up we have Leafy versus Tepig, and kind of like Cynthia versus Afonso, this kind of seemed one-sided. Really, it was just Leafy's Reuniclus setting up, and Tepig not really having a counter for it.
That's about it, yeah.
Yeah, Tepig made a very...
Excuse me? That is not what'll happen.
Oh my god. And, of course, Gala shows up.
I told you I would ruin it way fast. And by the way, they never got the fucking Wi-Fi to work on the computer, so I am stuck without a computer at least until tomorrow.
Dang. So, anyways...
shit, Dylan's here. Go get it.
I guess to say the biggest play was...
And I'm muting myself again for a bit.
Alright, bye. Is
basically was basically the misprediction of Tepig going into Beedrill and the Reuniclus killing it with a Psychic.
Yeah, sacking his Beedrill is huge, because the thing about Reuniclus is that you basically have to have a Dark type against to even have a decent matchup against it, or a Phaser. Because it usually beats all the super effective checks by itself or by other members on the team, and that once that thing is gone, then you have very little things to actually hit it. Especially the double setup set with Acid Armor and Calm Mind.
Oh yeah, and
that's what's really good about Reuniclus.
And purposely, if I honestly do not know what the play was with what he did. I kind of seen this differently though. If Roserade would have actually I think he was thinking the Roserade would have came in, and that's why he went Beedrill. But if that was to happen, then Beedrill would be looking in a really good position, except for the Celesteela that's standing in the way. But
no, I think he either projected a switch in or him to set up a Calm Mind, since he was at 80% and the Dawn could not touch him.
Yeah.
Or another recovery.
Yeah, that is true. That is true. But really, other than that, a good match between the two. I think if Tepig wouldn't have kind of played a little smarter, to say, with the Mega Beedrill, then this would be a much closer match, and possibly in his favor.
I think so too.
Yeah. So GG to Leafy and to Tepig. Really great battle. Kept us all on our feet, actually. The next matchup is probably my favorite matchup in Week 2. Gil versus Dante.
Oh, darn it.
Biggest reason really is because there, as you can see on Dante's team, he drafted Tropius. And did Tropius actually do work? Basically, Gil's team had nothing for the Toxapex. There was also nothing for Heatran except for maybe a what is it called? Sacred Sword on Kartana. But Tentacruel bringing Magicoat was a cool bring, except it really didn't matter that much, seeing how he still had Heatran in the back for negating the toxic spikes. Oh, and he did have 2 poison types.
Just hate it.
Yeah. And then the burn from Scald from Tentacruel to the Tropius kind of ruined it as well. Because if you could have gotten a Toxic on the Sing, it wouldn't have done that much. But it's able to set up subs. It was sub Leech Seed, Air Slash, and some other move with an Aguav Berry, which is honestly one of the cooler things I've seen.
Yeah.
But no, as soon as some mons went down to this thing, like, the Tropius killed the Rabombi with an Air Slash, killed the Victini with an Air Slash, and I think killed the Glalie with Leech Seed. And then after that, all he had to do was weaken Kartana, and Boom Burst from, I believe it was either Specs or Scarf, Swallow just ended the game.
Yep.
Personally, dude, Dante, if you do make Tropius an MVP, I will praise you for the rest of my life. No lie.
That'd be nice.
Yeah. Any other words for this battle?
I think that's about it.
Yeah. Alright. And then finally, because we will not be talking about me versus Tash due to it going to be on my channel, nor will we be talking about Galactic versus Trainer, because there was really nothing in that battle except that Trainer did not have counters for Sylveon or Chestnut. That's pretty much it. But now, the upset of the week, Bryn versus Flygon. A really, really good match. Bryn brought AV Beware and a Sword Stance Agility for Alligator. Knowing Bryn, this is pretty much all he likes to do with his Feraligatr. As you can see, Double Edge, killing the Mega Venusaur, Mega Camel putting in a little bit of work. So, this really just wasn't a good matchup for Flygon, personally. As well, the Latias killing the Zoroark was, I think it was pretty huge. The Draco OHKOing that, because I think after that there was really no other hope for killing the Alakazam. And once Infernape went down, he could just sweep with Tyranitar. So yeah, other than that, a great game, and we really hope to see more of this Bryn in the future. So with that being said, we are going to get into the divisions, see where we are looking at right now as we head into week 3. So in the Shadow division, we have Cynthia with a 1-1 record plus 3 differential, Galactic with a 1-1 record plus 2 differential, and then Gil with a 1-1 record minus 1 differential, while I, Miku, fall down to 0-2 minus 6. And for the Thunder Division, Tez.
Hi. I'm back. Wait. Where are we on right now? Sorry.
Thunder Division.
Thunder Division. Okay. Don't have much to say about this, really. My prediction is that Afonso takes the division, and it's probably between Leafy and Brian who takes the second one. I'm rooting for Brian, honestly. I want to see Brian making playoffs again.
Yeah. So of course, Afonso is 2-0 right now with a +8 differential, while Leafy and Bryn share the second place spot with a 1-1 record, and then Trainer sadly taking the boot of the season so far with a -12 differential. I think Trainer will bounce back. That's all I can say. He is my mentee. I always have to chip in somehow. As for the River Division, we have Dante, Nick, Pred, Tepig in the slots. Big shocker that Pred is actually doing really decent, to be honest.
Pred is doing...
Sorry, go on.
Nothing much. I'm just really surprised that Nick and Dante are leading the division.
Oh yes, definitely. Especially because Dante is Dante, and Nick has been pulling off one of his better seasons, to be honest.
Yeah. Yep. I really like how Nick is doing. But, you know, Tepig is also a surprise here, because I used to play with Tepig, and he was really good back in the ACL minor season.
Oh yes.
It doesn't quite live up to, like, what he's doing now, it doesn't quite live up to.
Yeah, he's suffering from a little bit of poker rust, no lie.
That's right.
So, the Wind Division, basically Saiga, Flygon, Tash, Celebi, basically where I see him at after week 2. What do you think?
Huh? Oh, sorry. So you're talking about the Wind Division?
Yes, Wind Division.
Yeah. Saiga, oh my god, this division is busted.
Yeah.
Alright, I'm not gonna make predictions yet. I think by the end of the season, Flygon's gonna lead this division, and Saiga will probably come in second. Although Tash could also pull it off. I'm just not sure yet.
Yeah, there's pretty much no hope for Celebi as of right now.
That's right. I'm sorry, Celebi. But I'm sure he'll still have fun with his sets. So.
Oh yeah, definitely. Alright, so now on to week 3. Of course, myself and Tez will be making predictions, and hopefully be getting them right, because, yeah. We're at least trying to do better than Gala.
Right.
So, first off is Afonso versus Nick. Now, of course, Nick is coming off a, probably really huge momentum, despite it being Celebi. And I think it was Tepig as well, yep. Personally, I do... Oh, go ahead.
However, Afonso is actually also leading his division 2-0 and +8. So, I feel like this will be a pretty interesting game, honestly.
Oh yes, definitely. Personally, I'm going to give it to Afonso. I just think he has the better matchup. And is kind of running with more confidence than Nick is.
Right. Yeah, I do think Afonso has a matchup in this one, but Nick still has a few decent checks to what Afonso has. For example, he has Bronzong for a decent Hello check, and then Mark Day for a decent Volcarona check. So basically, he can nullify a bunch of Afonso's major threats. So I feel like this game will still be interesting, depending on the prep.
Oh yeah.
It'll definitely be very sensitive on the prep.
Oh, yes, definitely. With my prediction, I say Afonso 2-0. So.
Okay, I'll say Afonso 3-0 actually.
Okay. So next up, probably another game of the week: Flygon versus Saiga. In this one, I think Flygon has been missing his edge a little bit, and this will be the game that he gets it back.
Like, yeah.
So I have Flygon winning this 3-0. So next up we have Miku versus Bryn. Of course, you know me, I'm going to throw out my bias here. I did say Tash would win last week. I don't think Bryn will win this week, but sadly I have him, so... I think Bryn does have a better matchup. He has so much experience in his silly little Feraligatr. So I think he's going to come around and win this late game sweep. Probably 1-0. What do you think? Okay, so next up,
I think if you utilize your matchup well, you'll be able to win. I'm not sure about the matchup yet because he has like a lot of offense on his team, but still, like, you do have several checks to what he has.
Yeah, that is true.
I'm not gonna like mention specifically, so.
Oh yeah, definitely. I don't like to mention like that much as well because it could like throw off, like totally like throw away what I'm bringing, even though I still have not prepped.
That's right, but yeah.
Yeah. But Bryn, I will say this here. Good luck to you, buddy, and I really hope we can have a fun battle. So next up we have Dante versus Tash, and of course I think we mentioned this earlier before talking that Dante has a Tropius to check basically Dugtrio.
Yeah, well, I mean, aside from the memes, I still think Tropius has a decent matchup here. To be honest. I think match will turn up very fun from both sides.
Oh yeah. I'm going to have Tash in a 4-0 due to an early setup by Mega X.
I'm going to have Dante 1-0 because I feel like it.
So next up, probably one of the most boring matchups because nobody likes Gil, and Tepig just is rusty. Tepig versus Gil.
Yeah.
Personally, right. I do think Rust will shake off here, and I have Tepig 2-0.
I also have Tepig winning this matchup. Although, let me check. Yeah, Tepig's team is actually pretty good.
Oh yes, definitely has a really good matchup against Gills.
Yeah.
Alright, so next up we have Celebi versus Leafy. So I think this is a division matchup. No, it's not. Never mind. I was so wrong. I personally think that Leafy will have no problem taking care of Celebi here. Celebi has not been really doing good as of late, and this will definitely affect him.
I feel like Celebi actually has a few decent breakers against Leafy's team, although he'll have to use them all.
Oh yes, definitely.
Yeah.
So I have Leafy 3-0.
Okay, I'll have a surprise Celebi win 2-0 or 1-0.
Nice. Alright, we have next Trainer versus Pred. The hits the hits just keep on coming, Trainer. I'm sorry. You're receiving another 6-0 probably. So
I'm gonna say 4-0 Pred.
Yeah, Pred. Trust me, buddy. It will get better. You know, this is honestly his first time in draft leagues. So.
No, he was here last season.
Oh well, yeah, but he had like a different team. So like this is his first actual drafted team.
Okay. Yeah, because he also played in RGPL, but those are just random.
Yeah, those are it is the best league in the world, guys. Trust me.
That's right.
Yeah, hashtag ownership. But And finally, we have Galactic versus Cynthia, and of course, you are the co-coach of
Is
Cynthia.
Galactic still here?
No, he is not.
Good. I think Cynthia's winning this.
I personally do think Cynthia will keep it close, but I'm going to have Gala 1-0.
Okay. I think my wonderful prep, not really, but I think. No, I think Cynthia will pull it off this time.
Yeah, definitely. And so, with that being said, anything else you want to mention? Just about anything of this league?
I think it's been going well so far. There have been a few surprise wins, like for example, Wind Division has had 2 of their top players had 1 loss each. So I think this league will actually go quite differently than how it's been the previous season.
Oh yes, definitely. Have you heard about the playoff rule?
Playoff rule? No.
So, Gala changed this up, and I'm actually not really that happy about it. He changed it so where the division winners are secured a spot, and then the last 6 people in that conference are fighting for 2 playoff spots.
Oh dang.
Yeah.
Oh, that's actually bad. Okay.
Yeah. So that would have definitely screwed me over the past few seasons. So.
Right.
Yeah.
Give me a second again.
Oh, no,
sorry.
That's fine. This is actually the end of the podcast. So thank you, Tez, for joining me. Personally, this has actually been one of the funner podcasts. Gala is in Phoenix actually right now, so he actually couldn't record. He was saying hi for a couple minutes just because he has finally reached his hotel and can connect to the Wi-Fi. So,
alright.
So R.I.P. Gala. Tez, thank you for having us. Or, well, actually,
I mean,
other way around.
thank you for having me. Thank you.
But yeah, it was a pleasure.
That's right. Thanks.
This was really fun. And
okay.
My video should be up probably Tuesday. This will be going up Monday, and I really do thank you guys for the support. If you enjoyed this video, please hit that like button down below. Subscribe if you are new, because your support is most definitely appreciated. And until next time, peace out, Mikuins.